Hello. Before we start today's episode, if you would like a condensed version of what I'm talking about in this podcast, go ahead and subscribe to The Perfectionist Guide. You can read the entire thing in 3 minutes or less. To access this, go to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/newsletter. Are you a bit of a perfectionist, type A, hyper performer? Then you know that having the audacity to see an ideal and bring it into reality while breaking generational habits of hustle can be tough, but it doesn't have to be. If you are ready to burn bright instead of burning out, to lead without losing yourself, and to enjoy the life you have worked so hard to create, then keep listening. I'm your host, America's leader on rewiring perfectionism, CLG, and this is Perfectionism Rewired, the podcast. Welcome to Perfectionism Rewired, episode number 64. This weekend, I was thinking about my private one-on-one coaching clients. They are at this precipice in their life, whether they have new babies coming into it, or they are moving abroad, or they're getting married. They're at these big turning points in their life. And they're also at these big turning points, work that we have been doing together. And I was thinking about how can I help them get where they want to be faster? And if they just do this one thing, it will transcend where they're at right now. We know that you can't think greater than how you feel. And this thinking, feeling loop that most adults are caught in keeps us anchored to our past and creates a constant state of being where your thoughts are running you and your feelings own you. Let's say that you have had some difficult experiences in your life, which, hello, haven't we all? And they have branded you emotionally, meaning maybe you didn't have the coping skills to deal with them when they came up, or maybe you're like me and you just locked them in a box in an attic in your mind castle and you were just like, I don't want to deal with this. You never actually worked through and processed and cleared your emotional coding, the fear or the anger or the frustration or the resentment of these experiences. And now in your adult life, every time you have an experience that is similar to what happened to you in your childhood or in your adolescence or in the past, it triggers you feeling the same way you did at that initial event. And when you are feeling the same emotion that you felt 20, 30 years ago, when that initial traumatic experience occurred, you're probably behaving in the same way that you did at that time, because those emotions, those feelings are driving your conscious and unconscious thoughts and behaviors. By the time you are in your mid-30s, if you keep thinking, acting, feeling the same way without changing anything, without doing any of this personal growth and development work, the majority of who you are becomes a memorized set of automatic thoughts, reflexive emotional reactions, unconscious habits and behaviors, subconscious beliefs and perceptions, and just routine, familiar attitudes. In fact, scientifically, they have found that 95% of who we are as adults is so habituated through repetition that our bodies have been programmed to be our mind. And the body, not the conscious mind, is running the show, which means that only about 5% of who we are is conscious, and the remaining 95% is a subconscious body-mind program. So in order to create something significantly different in our lives, we gotta find a way to make our mind work for us and to change our state of being, which is exactly what I do with my one-on-one coaching clients and what this episode is all about. Making your mind work for you and getting your brain on board. The latest research in genetics and epigenetics says that it is not our actual genes that create disease and disorders. In fact, less than 1% of all people on planet Earth are born with a genetic disorder. The other 99% of us, it is due to lifestyle and behaviors. Science has proven that the environment around us is what signals the gene that actually creates all of the diseases that we have in our life. The environment signals our genes, and the end product of an experience in your environment is an emotion. If you are living by the same emotions every single day, there is no new information coming from the environment, and you are signaling the same genes. You are headed for a very specific genetic destiny, like heart disease runs in your family. But the awesome thing is that we can actually change them. You can do this by embracing unlimited emotions and thoughts that deal with possibility and potentiality. These two things, you are actually signaling new genes and making new proteins that are responsible for the change in structure and function of your body. I'm giving you this scientific knowledge because when you assign more meaning to what it is that you are doing, it leads to greater intention, which leads to an even greater outcome. I know that I have flippantly said that coaching with me is anti-aging and that it's change that happens at a cellular level, at the DNA level, but it's not a gimmick. It is literally what happens and what scientists like me have been able to see from thousands and thousands of people that have done this work. It's a scientific fact that most humans, we only use 1.5% of our DNA. The rest is called junk DNA. But there is a principle in biology called endowment that says that nature never wastes anything it is not going to use. So in other words, the 98.5% of our DNA that is there is a reason for it. We would have evolved to use 100% of our DNA if we were not meant to use it. So I like to think of our genes as a library of potentials. They're infinite combinations of gene variations that we can use to change what it is that is happening with us in our life. Like you can live for 40 years longer. You can heal. You can regenerate tissues. You can have greater energy and vitality. You can make it so that you have a photographic memory, like whatever it is that you want to create, not only in your life, but also in your genetic makeup and in your body, you have the capacity to do that. Know that as you embrace these new feelings and new ways of thinking and operating in your life, you are knocking on your own genetic door. So I invite you to surrender to the process and fully engage in the experience. Making your mind work for you and getting your brain on board. Your brain is organized to reflect everything you know in your life. Your brain is a record of the past. It's an artifact of everything you've learned up to this moment. And the mind is the brain in action. I compare it to a drunk toddler. When we let our thoughts run away and we believe what our drunk toddler brain is telling us. Our brain is like Google, and everything that it gives us comes from our past. It's a Google that only can look at our search history. It can only go off of the past. And our brain loves to stay in probability and predictability. Where I want to take you and where all the change is made is in possibility and potentiality. Your past will never give you permission to do big things. Right here is the number one thing that fucks all of us up, myself included. Once you really understand this and know this with a capital K in your being, not just that makes sense, but really let it marinate and let that sink in, everything in your life is going to change for the better. Our brains are just organs of the past. And you need to fucking stop going back to your past and asking your past for permission. Asking your brain for permission is a futile thought, right? That's like asking your toddler if it wants to eat its vegetables or to take a nap. You're not going to get the answer that you want. Your past will never give you permission to do big things. It just won't. It's not designed that way. Our brain just wants to keep us safe in the cave, warm by the fire, with nothing changing, everything being the same. Your past will never give you permission to go for big things, to think big things. So stop expecting it to. It's not its job. My one-on-one coaching clients will come to me and will be like, yeah, I wanted to do this thing, but my brain gave me a lot of resistance. It's like me telling you that I wanted to go to the store, but I got in the car and there wasn't any gas, so it couldn't go anywhere. It's like, no shit, Sherlock. You need to put gas in the car, right? Your brain is never going to give you permission. Stop asking it to do something that is not its job. Take the steering wheel, take the reins in your life. Your current circumstances, everything that is in your life right now, right this second, this is all evidence of your past thinking and feeling. This is not evidence of your future. Your future is based on your current thinking and feeling. Your mind has got to stay ahead of your current circumstances. It needs to expand beyond the cage of comfort. Your current circumstances are evidence of everything that you have been feeling and thinking and doing in the past. It is not evidence of who you're being right now. What we all need to do is we need to get our mind to work for us, and we need to get ahead of it. That means you must be thinking and feeling and being ahead of your current circumstances. The difference between reacting versus responding. What you will create in the future will be because of who you are intentionally being right now. It's going to come from what you are thinking and what you are feeling, what you are directing your brain and your entire system towards right the fuck now. But if you keep borrowing thoughts from the past, you're going to create a future that is exactly what you created in the past. If you want to know what are the thoughts and feelings that are quote unquote getting in the way, just look at your life right now. This was my aha moment, by the way. I was like, oh my God, I need to do a blank slate. I'm not saying that my life is bad right now, but I'm just saying I'm taking a hard look at everything and being like, what needs to shift? What's staying and what needs to go? What is it that you have been thinking? I want you to ask yourself this. What is it that you have been feeling? A great thing to do is to ask yourself, what are your top 3 emotions from the past week? Where are you at right now? What most of us are doing is that we are using our past against us. And this happens when we say, I can't because I've never been able to. That is my brain's favorite fucking thought to think and reason to give me all the time. It shouts at me. It's like, well, we've never been able to do that before. We've never done that before, CLG. And I hear this a lot in my private one-on-one coaching. My clients will tell me, this is just how I am. I've always been this way. My whole family's this way. You just don't understand. I've tried. I can't. This won't work. I can't tell you how many clients come and swear to me on their firstborn that this shit won't work. This coaching shit won't work. Well, then you're lucky that I have a money back guarantee, because guess what? This coaching shit works. When this happens, I think, of course, their brain has given them that. Their brain only has the thoughts that they're thinking right now. And my job is to help you understand why you're thinking those thoughts, why you are feeling this way, and to help you unpack them, excavate them, and help you figure out what you want to be thinking and feeling intentionally, and how you can live from possibility and potentiality. Because if you keep thinking and feeling the way that you are now, you are going to keep recreating the experiences you're having now. So how the fuck do you break this cycle? What do I need to do, CLG? Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Step number 1 is to become conscious of your thoughts. I like to keep a list and notes on my phone. Get aware of how you are speaking, how you are acting, what you are doing that are keeping you anchored in the past. Then decide, do these things belong in my future? One of my coaching clients come to me this past week with the thought of, it's selfish for me to spend 10 minutes on my mindset. That would be a thought to put on that list and then look at what happens. How do I act? Well, when I don't take time for myself, I get very snappy. I'm not very present with my children. Also, when I think that thought, I think, oh, everybody just wants something from me. And it goes down this thing. What I'm asking you to do is to write it down. Don't just think it, because if you think it in your brain, it goes away. We want to look at this hard evidence. You want to be aware of this is everything. The more you are aware of the problem and of the issues, then we can clear it away. Just getting that awareness, you are unearthing your possibility. Become conscious of what are the unconscious habits and behaviors that are happening. Keep note of them and really, really look at them and decide, is this going to help me get to my future? And do I want to bring this into my future? Do I want to bring stress? Do I want to bring resentment? Do I want to bring frustration? Do I want to bring bitterness? I'm guessing the answer is going to be fuck no. What I see people try to do is they try and create a new reality, bringing their same personality with them. That doesn't work. Like, your personality is your personal reality. So if you want to create a new reality, you literally have to become someone else. I want us all to start unearthing our possibility. And I literally do not give a fuck what you've done in the past. When your brain offers you, oh, but we've never done this before, say no. Like, we're going to think differently, because the only way that I'm going to create something different is to think and feel different. Your brain is an organ. It's automatically giving you things. And if you listen to it and you don't wrestle with it, you don't examine it, you don't question what your drunk toddler is giving you, you're going to keep recreating the same patterns, the same diseases, the same issues in your life. When you understand at a deep level that where you are at right now is because of your past thinking, everything else opens up to you, because it's no longer a mystery of why the fuck this happened. And also, you are taking radical responsibility. You're not being like, well, my mom did this to me, my dad did this to me, I was abused as a kid. Literally, none of that shit serves you. I'm not mitigating what happened to you in your past. I've given you a glimpse into the horrific things that I experienced from an infant up until my early 20s. But me carrying around that identity of a victim helped no one. It certainly didn't help me. Ask yourself, honestly, and with curiosity, how is it that I created where I am at right now? Challenge yourself that your thoughts and your feelings have created it. How have you shown up when you really believe that your partner doesn't appreciate you? Like, how do you show up when you think and feel that? How do you show up when you believe it doesn't make a difference whether or not I work out? I just can't get in shape. Obesity runs in my family. Everyone in my family is overweight. How have you shown up when you believe I've tried every anti-anxiety exercise and retreat and medication, and like, I just can never calm the F down, okay? Like, how have you shown up? When you are believing those thoughts, it produces feelings of inadequacy and discouragement and doubt and uncertainty and frustration and bitterness. When those feelings are driving the bus, when those feelings and thoughts are owning you, as soon as you hit an obstacle, guess what happens? Your brain goes, see, I told you, based on probability, we're not going to be doing this. At this point here, when an obstacle comes up, and you decide not to overcome it, I want you to notice that you are creating the past again. Because that right there, pretties, that is the intersection. That is the choice that we all have. We have thousands of these moments every day where you can ask yourself, am I going to feed possibility and thoughts of potentiality shit that a lot of people might say that you have no business thinking or believing about yourself. Am I going to do it anyway? Am I going to have my own back on this? When you believe in your possibility and potentiality, when obstacles come up, you use your brain to help you figure it the fuck out, as opposed to listening to your brain when it says, see, I told you we can't do that. Let's just go back to how things were. Don't allow your brains to give you probability thoughts. And if it does, no problem. You just intentionally create that possibility within yourself. If you noticed in this episode that holy cannoli, holy wow, I read you like a menu. If you're nodding your head yes, listen closely because I might have the solution you've been searching for. My Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator, a 6-week, highly individualized one-on-one coaching experience designed exclusively for perfectionists like you. Your perfectionism is actually your greatest asset, and leveraging it can be hard work or take years of guesswork. That's why in Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator, I give you my key frameworks to taking charge of your Ferrari drive, proven to work even for the most type A, high-strung, stubborn perfectionists. In the first 30 days, you will cut your burnout in half, increase your professional fulfillment by at least 150%, and your self-compassion will go up at least 250%. And that is just your first 30 days. So if you want to save yourself years of trial and error, go to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/accelerator today. Or if you want to take the easy way, just click the link in the show notes to check out the Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator.